Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is the Hammer here, Saul Smith. And, this is an introduction to a series that I want to do. I've been thinking a lot about it lately. Music vlog, man. It's that simple. I just want to talk about music. And in this video, being the first, the introduction, I'm going to be talking about where I'm coming from as far as where music is in my life. This is more for audible purposes and video purposes. So with that being said, whatever's on the screen is just irrelevant. It's just a screensaver because this is all I have to work with, and I'm fine with that. You know, can't make everyone happy. I'm happy with it. So, and I'm the one making it. No offense, but that's just how it's gonna go. Viewers' discretion is advised, as always. So music, you got three different types of people as far as music goes, being a fan or liking music. And you got type A, which is someone who doesn't really focus on it whatsoever. I mean, they don't really care about what the song is. They don't really pay attention to it. There's some people out there that don't really care about music. I mean, if it's just on somewhere, they don't care. If it's, they just put on whatever, and it's just. And then those are the kind of people that find it silly that people spend money to go see people live. Live concerts, showings, whatever. And really, a lot of them tend to laugh at the idea that people spend cash too to go to local shows, people that aren't even celebrities. Now, why is it okay to support celebrities, people that have already made it, but it's not okay to support people who are trying to make it? But anyways, type B of music people are people who do pay attention to it. They appreciate it to some sort of extent, and they know what they like. They are fans. Like, some of them are true fans of certain types of music, certain artists or whatever. And, that's cool. That's the majority of music people. And they may have favorite bands. They know what they like. You can actually have a conversation with them about music, unlike type A. No offense if you're a type A. Sounds like I'm talking about blood types. And type C is where I fit in. You're someone who lives and breathes music. You just get so excited about music. You can talk about it on and on and on. You know so much about it. You are that person that pays to go to shows, meet and greets. You go to local shows. You support, you're like anything and everything to do with music. And most likely, if you're this kind of person, you're also what's called eclectic, where it's like you don't like just one or two, maybe three genres of music. Your taste is far more wide than that. You're more accepting of all different types. Like, I'm like that. Like, I like heavy metal, I like rock, I like rap, hip-hop, R&B, jazz, classical. Some country. Not a huge fan of country, and I'm not the biggest fan of pop. But if you're talking about 80s pop and 90s pop, I like a lot of that stuff, especially the 80s pop. I love 80s pop music. I feel like 80s and 90s music, I don't know. I felt like it's still more relevant to me. Like, I felt like that was the last time when really, really, really good and inspirational music was made. Not saying none of that's being made now, not saying any newcomers that are coming into the music scene or whatever. I'm not saying there aren't any of those who are inspirational and stuff like that, because there are some. Like Kendrick Lamar, he's fairly new. Fairly. If you want to compare him to, say, people like, where I grew up, it was Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, stuff like that. If you're talking about more modern, contemporary rap and hip-hop, yeah, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Young M.A., and even newer, like XXXTentacion. I'm talking music. I'm not talking like the politics or their personal lives or anything like that. Because, a lot of people hear that I like his music and they're all like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen, I listen to his music. I'm not listening to his personal life and all that. I mean, I've heard and read a little bit about it, but that's as far as it went. I can't remember his name right now. It's so annoying because I actually like some of his music. Oh my god. What the hell is his name? I can't believe this is happening right now. Give me a minute. Oh my god, what was his name? He's the white dude, he's got face tattoos. He sings the song Psycho. Or Psychopaths or something like that. Oh shit. I cannot believe this. Well, when he does live shows, he likes to cover Metallica, Nirvana. Oh, I really wish I could hear you guys right now, because I'm pretty sure some of you would be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. What the fuck was his name? This is bad. But anyways, man, this sucks. I'm really gonna be irritated if I can't remember his name. This is really shitty. I cannot remember for the life of me. But anyways, he's a really good artist, I think. For today's generation of music, I think he's pretty good. Whatever the fuck your name is, dude. Shout out to you. You're pretty decent. And I completely lost track of what the fuck I was saying because I got caught up in trying to remember his name. The easy answer is I was talking about music, duh. Modern rap, yeah. I feel like modern music today doesn't really, I don't know, it's not as appealing to me, is what I'm getting at. I guess you can call me an old head. I don't know, I don't care, Just like subgenres, I don't care about those either. I hardly ever use those. And the only reason why I ever would use those is to make communicating with other people about music a little bit easier, because there are a lot of people who use those mainstream terms or whatever. I'm just not into all that. But yeah, my two or three favorite genres of music would have to be of the heavy metal variety. you know, like Metallica, Killswitch Engage. I'm just naming some, you know. All That Remains. I mean, I guess you can kind of throw grunge into the heavy metal, whatever, because grunge kind of derived from heavy metal and punk, supposedly. I like a lot of grunge music, but I like to put that more in, like I just said, into more of like a heavy metal rock or punk kind of, because that's what they kind of are. They're a fusion of those. So to say, you know, I do like a lot of quote-unquote grunge music. And I like the style and everything like that, in case you haven't noticed. You know, I still wear band tees and jeans and flannels. Big fucking deal. Then I like hip-hop, like I just mentioned them, Kendrick Lamar, Young M.A., Tupac, you know. Rap wasn't really allowed in my house. My mother thought a lot of it was very degrading and misogynistic. She makes a good point on that. But she accepted Tupac. She didn't really care for NWA or I put some of that stuff on, and Tupac really got me into all this other hip-hop music that I'm into now. I guess that's why I set my standards so high for what I expect out of hip-hop music. And I guess R&B, I'm a big fan of The Weeknd, believe it or not, and I like a lot of 90s R&B, like Boyz II Men and Belle Biv DeVoe, stuff like that. Samuel. But I remember music affecting me since like the beginning. Like as far back as I can remember. Maybe I was like 4 years old. I don't know. Maybe 5. But my mother listened to a lot of 90s rock. Or heavy metal. Like she liked. I mean, Metallica came out like 86 or something like that. But she loved Metallica. She loved Queen. Again, they came out like in the 80s. She loved Nirvana. AC/DC. I remember her telling me all kinds of stories of trying to get away with buying these CDs and stuff like that, because her mother, my grandmother, is a hardcore Christian and doesn't want to see things like Hell's Bells, and she shook me all night long and shit like that. Like, so she had to like try to like be sneaky about getting away with buying that shit. Because normally her mom was taking her there, taking her to the record stores or whatever places, whatever, selling CDs and records or whatever. So she, her mother, my grandmother would have to like analyze what the fuck she was buying. Parental control, right? Imagine that. And, hanging out with my mom when I was a wee lad. And, her just blaring music and painting like fucking all kinds of like albums from, again, Nirvana. She painted the Nevermind cover to that. A couple of the Metallica ones, a couple of the Queen ones, I think some AC/DC, possibly Zeppelin. I think she did the Soul Asylum one for Runaway Train or whatever. I believe that's Soul Asylum. So, you know, I was just grooving to that, and it was just I felt like such a good atmosphere, you know, to just have that music on like that and just watch her paint that, you know, and just, it was so, I don't know, it was just awesome. For hours, I would just watch her. And then, and she'll talk about the bands, the paintings, everything to do with the music. And, you know, it was always very interesting. And, it still is. And then one day, you know, in, early April of '94, you know, she like broke down because she was watching the news and they were talking about the death of Kurt Cobain, and, you know, that was a big fucking deal back then. Like, so many people, because people, I don't think a lot of people understand, especially nowadays, like, Nirvana was like overnight. They went from like basement, garage, bedroom to like going platinum and all this fame and all this shit. And, you know, they were like one of the epitomes of overnight celebrities. Like, and for someone like Kurt Cobain, who didn't want to really be famous like that, and he didn't really want all the attention, and he was an anxious, kind of shy person, you know, and for all that to just blow up on him like that, he's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, he probably, he admitted that he loved it at one point, you know. So, I mean, that was like my dream. So, sounds cliche and corny, but that was like my dream. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to write music and, of course, get fucking paid, because somebody's gotta, you know, put food in there, you know what I mean? And tour and all this other shit. Like, oh my god, like, I was in bands, with that being said, and they didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, you know, we didn't fucking do shit. The one band, I guess, I mean, I don't want to say it was a joke, because it wasn't. It was just me and two of my best friends just kind of fucking around, you know. I mean, at the time we felt like we were doing something, but we, you know, we knew we were kind of just fucking around. It was fun, you know. And no, I got, well, before I get into bands, let me give a little bit of an, like, an introduction within an introduction. No, I'm not saying that, no way. My first instrument, I would say, was drums. Kind of like my first band. That's how I feel about my first instrument. It felt like we were doing something, but we were just fucking around. But when I was like maybe like 11, 12, 13 or whatever, I started playing saxophone. I was influenced, yet again, by my mother and her husband at the time. And they listened to a lot of jazz too, you know, and like Kenny G, Sade, Billy Joel. I love Billy Joel. And, you know, I just loved the way that sounded. It was really growing on me, along with all the other music I mentioned earlier, you know. So my taste for music was just always expanding, you know. And so I played saxophone for, I don't even know how long. I want to say like a year or two, but I don't know. To be honest, I have no idea how long it lasted, but I was serious about it for a while, and I did keep up with it. But at a point, I ended up just being, I got the saxophone from my mother's husband's dad. I guess my grandfather-in-law or some shit at the time. Whatever. And You know, I just gave it back to them. As far as I remember, I just gave it back to them. I don't think anything happened to it. Who knows? With my luck, could have got hit by a fucking truck or something. I don't know. But and you know, but because that was like a gateway instrument. It was a gateway instrument because it was just like, okay, this is pretty fucking cool. Like, I am learning this, and I'm not getting like crazy good or nothing like that. Like, I'm not trying to portray that type of persona. No. It was just a step above fucking around. And then I got my bass. And then when I got my bass, that's when I started getting into more serious bands, or supposed serious bands. Supposedly. And, I played bass in a group with one of my best friends and some dude that he knew. I didn't fucking know who he was. And, you know, we were like, I guess you can call, like, death thrash metal, or I think one of them in the band was saying that we were math metal or grindcore or something. I don't fucking know. Just these subgenres. I would just call it a heavy metal band. Just with a lot of screaming, you know, mostly screaming. And we were doing some cool shit, man. We were doing okay. But then, you know, apparently, supposedly, you know, I lent my amp to somebody in the band, and apparently it blew up, and I never got to see it again. And to be honest, that was kind of fucking shady. I don't think that happened because they wouldn't even show it to me. Like, if you break something of somebody's, wouldn't you give it to them, like, give it back to them, even though it's broken? Like, you don't get to keep it just because it fucking breaks. Like, and they wouldn't give it to me. So I was just like, whatever, man, fuck this. And then the whole heroin thing blew up in my neighborhood, and I tried a few other bands, but I was playing guitar and singing and whatever, and screaming and all that other shit. And it was just like, never got anywhere because everyone was too busy getting all fucking doped up. You know, if that's what you want to do, man, fine, it's your life. If you want to do it like that, that is your life. You know, it's just not for me. I'm in a band to write music, play music, and possibly fucking go somewhere. You guys just want to be high. Like, like, if you want to get fucked up, do that shit, like, after the show or something. Like, can we make progress before we celebrate, quote-unquote? But, you know, so that never got anywhere, none of that got anywhere. None of it. And I was getting good at, like, pig squealing and all this other shit. I was making a little bit of progress. Me and my fucking best friend, who I like to call my younger brother, dude, we spent... It was like one of our things that we did. We call it jamming. Dude, it felt so fucking cool. Because, like, we would do the typical drink and sing, but it was, like, different, though. Because it was just, like... It wasn't just two drunk guys having fun. No, it was like, you know, we were best friends for a long fucking time, and so we were, like, really comfortable with each other. So it's like, him and I were, like, drinking our bedroom, blare music, and, like, sing the music like we fucking wrote it. Like, we got so theatrical about it. I was a lot more theatrical than he was. I think I just didn't give a fuck. I just wanted it out because I love to sing. I love everything, like, all the vocal type, whatever, so all different types of vocals, I just love to do. And, I guess that was my way of escaping into feeling like that's what we're doing, because eventually we would actually invite a few people over, and we would, like, jam out in front of our friends and drink with them too. You know, it was like we had like a little tiny audience. You know, some people laugh at that. Ooh, that's fucking. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, I don't know if I ever made it clear to anybody, but I really don't give a fuck. Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It doesn't mean I have to care about it. You know, just like, yeah, you probably don't care about my opinion. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not fucking Fallout 4 like you've been seeing this whole time. And again, like I stated, you should really be listening, not watching, because there isn't nothing to see. Well, unless you think she's good looking for a game character, you know, or maybe you think the dog is cute. I don't know. So, Yeah, that shit was a lot of fun, and we had like pictures and video from it, and it was just cool to watch. You know, sometimes I was kind of embarrassed because I was always anxious and really like bashful and shit. And it was just like, I was always worried about the typical, I'm probably gonna suck. Like, I feel like I'm doing great, even when I'm sober, I feel like I'm doing great, and I've had people tell me I'm pretty good. I've heard people tell me, you know, go on American Idol. I'll never go on fucking American Idol, okay? It's gonna be very 90s of me, but in case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of stuck there. But I'm not fucking selling out. I don't care if it is my ticket in. Nope. Like Kendrick Lamar said, if I got a brown nose for if I got a brown nose for some gold, I'd rather be a bum than a motherfucking baller. And that's another thing, a big clue that I'm just so fucking like sucked into this idea, this thing called music, is that like I make music quotes all the time, and I probably drive people crazy. Like I just did. I just threw a music quote in there. Sometimes they're corny. I don't know. Like, yeah, but you know, him and I don't really get to do that anymore because he ended up moving and blah 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 blah, and you know, he lives kind of far away now. I mean, kinda, but you know, with work and all this other shit, blah 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 blah. You know, I try to find time, and it's just the whole situation. I'd rather not get into it because it's not totally relevant, but we don't really get to do that much anymore. Is the point. And nowadays, fast forward to the present, I just kind of sing to myself, or you'll see me posting videos, you know, a cappella, and I don't know, just kind of throw something out there. I mean, I know it's not getting a lot of attention, but it's not really about the attention. I mean, it'd be nice if there was some fucking recognition. Oh, you know, this is pretty good. But usually it's just like, oh, hey, you know, you remind me of this song, or hey, you suck. You know, it's like, wow. I remember my first cover. It was like a 30-second clip of me standing in my room covering Bring Me the Horizon a lot like Vegas. And then there was another one where I covered a 30-second clip of Under Oath, When the Sun Sleeps. It was like that, you know, it was just like little snippet things, and then it turned into me doing full cover, like, no, didn't it turn into me drinking and jamming out to these songs? And, like, for example, one of my dudes on YouTube, I don't want to put him on blast, so I'm not going to mention his name, but it was a while ago or whatever, and, you know, he's feeling really depressed or whatever, and, you know, I really felt for the dude, because I deal with depression a lot, you know? And, so I was like, you know what, man, you know, you're drinking, you get a little emotional, because you're like, oh, man, you know, because that's what liquor does, you know, and you're just like, man, it really sucks, because I know what it's like to go through this, and have to sit here and see someone so nice, and just so generous, and just, you know, a pretty cool guy, or whatever, just to go through that. I mean, I don't think anybody really should go through depression. I don't advise it, you know, stay away from it, yeah, stay away, but, so I was just like, you know what, dude, you know what, so I did a cover of, Killswitch Engage. I can't remember if it was Life to Lifeless, or Alive, or Just Breathing. Those are two different song titles, in case you don't know, and the songs were written when Jesse Leach was in the band. And, I think it was shit, I can't remember the name of the album, but I think the album is actually named off of one of those two titles I just said. And, yeah, I did a cover of that, and blah, 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 you know, I was pretty into it, you know, putting effort, you know what I mean? Not maximum effort, but enough. And he thought it was great, you know, he liked it, he was like, hey man, that was really good, I really appreciate that, blah, 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 blah. So at that point, I really didn't give a fuck if anyone else liked it, because it was really just for him, you know, to kind of give him a lift, you know what I mean? We gotta look out for our people. You see someone struggling, you shouldn't be fucking with them. That's just evil, you know, that's the devil's work. You know, you torment people to make them feel shittier than they already do. Like, depression isn't something that you easily just brush off. Sometimes you can do that, but There's different levels. It's a whole other story. Depression's a big, big fucking universe of a topic. It's just, but yeah. So, oh, yeah. So we don't jam anymore. Going back to that, and my brother and I, we don't jam out anymore. And I just kind of do the YouTube thing. But my first concert, I want to get into this now. My first concert, because my mom was kind of like a rocker chick, you know what I mean, and a metalhead, and I was 7 years old, my older brother and I, and we saw Ozzy live. Yeah, I forgot where, but yeah, 7 years old, man. That shit was so fucking cool. I only remember bits. Like, I remember seeing, like, the Ozzy cartoons up on, like, the thing with the chainsaws, and him doing all kinds of crazy shit, and him saying all kinds of crazy shit that we sorta could understand. Because at that time, you can still sorta, like, understand what he was saying. When he sings, though, you can always understand him when he talks, It's like, what the fuck? And he even knows that he's self-aware. Yeah, that was great, man. We were just rolling around in the grass, just headbanging with like these teenagers and shit, blah 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 blah. And the guys were like, "Yeah, your mom's cool." Nowadays, I'm thinking, yeah, they probably wanted to get with my mom, get the fuck out of here, but. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to a lot of concerts. I mean, the ones I did get to, I'm grateful for, because it was great that I got to be able to see these artists that I enjoy live. Like, I saw The Used. I like The Used. I haven't really been following them lately, but I really like them. Bring Me the Horizon, for the longest time, I loved them so fucking much. Oh my god. But sorry, but after Suicide Season, I kind of stopped following them. Like, I would listen every now and then, but there wasn't a whole lot that grasped my attention, like their EP did, or their first studio album, Count Your Blessings, and again, Suicide Season. I mean, some of the music after Suicide Season was pretty good, but I mean, other than that, I just didn't really care about it. I just liked the raw, fucking, just angry, fucking. They reminded me. I'm probably gonna get so much shit for this, and I really do not fucking care. But if you dissect it, maybe you'll see where I'm coming from. Bring Me the Horizon at that time were kind of like the modern or the contemporary Metallica, in my opinion. They're similar style. I'm not saying they're as good as Metallica, so shut the fuck up. Never said that. They had this similar, like, and they even said they were highly influenced by Metallica. They throw, like, biblical verses in there. They, just the way they word things in their music, and the way their guitar riffs are, the drums, just their instrumentals remind me so much of, like, 80s and 90s heavy metal. And they even look like fucking heavy metal guys. I don't know what the fuck this shit is. Okay, bear with me a minute, because I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent. I remember when they first came out, they were all wearing all black, and they had like choppy long hair for the most part, and they're like on the cover of their album, whatever. That was like the little icon thing or whatever, and people were looking at it like, oh, they're emo. Okay. But if you look at an old picture of Metallica, all black, black skinny jeans, long hair, what the fuck is the difference? 10 or 20 years? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't see that to make any sense. And real quick, too, like, that's another thing, the subgenre emo. Like, what the fuck? Like, emo sounds like it comes from emotional. All music is emotional, otherwise you're not doing it for the fucking music, you're just doing it. It's like when people sit there and say rap isn't poetry. The fuck it ain't. I mean, some of it isn't. But there's a lot, like, going back to Tupac again. You know? It's poetic. Kendrick Lamar, poetic. J. Cole, poetic. Like, but yeah, that's something, because I actually used to get called out a lot, too. And I was like, I don't fucking get it. Like, I've always pretty much dressed the same. For the most part of my life. I don't know, I just never cared to change it, really. It just, you know, it's just there, it's just what I like. Thinking. I didn't die or nothing, not yet. Yeah. So fuck that subgenre. Anyways, dude, Bring Me the Horizon was gnarly. Oh my god. Like, Job for a Cowboy, they totally inspired me to do, like, the pig squealing stuff. Like, they sound so fucking awesome. Again, Job for a Cowboy. You probably never heard of them. They're from Arizona. And, they're a death metal band. They scream and blah, 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 blah. And they do that. That wasn't a very good one. My mouth's kind of dry. I got like a dry mouth syndrome. Don't judge me. That wasn't 100%. But that's just to give you like a little bit of an idea. I don't know. I like that. If you don't, that's fine. Whatever. Music is freedom, so it's like it doesn't really fucking matter. You like whatever you like. It doesn't mean anything. Like, it shouldn't define who you are because of what music you like. The only thing on this planet that should define who you are is yourself, your personality, your actions. You know, shit like that. Not what the fuck you look like. There's another thing too, man. You know, so many people get shit for what they look like and stuff like that. It's like, who gives a fuck? Why is it so offensive when someone looks like Marilyn Manson? Marilyn Manson was so fucking cool. I don't care what anybody says. Like, his whole shock rock mentality, his stage presence. Like, I wouldn't go see him live only because I don't want to see his ass the whole fucking time. I mean, luckily, nowadays, he usually wears more clothes. I'm sorry, I just don't want to see his ass. Like, that's not, like, that's just not for me. Like, I don't want to go there. But his music is fucking cool, man. And look at the way he is, you know. A lot of people think he looks so fucked up, you know what I mean? But if you talk to him as a person, he's actually very, very intelligent. And he's very well-spoken and well-mannered. He hardly swears. He saves all that for the music, because it's an expression. It's emotion. Then I saw, because I was talking about Bring Me the Horizon, and then I saw, Ozzy again with Mudvayne and Rob Zombie. That was gnarly. That was fucking gnarly. And I had a super high, like, contact high. I was 14. It's fucking awesome. Isn't that crazy? 7 years later, I see him again. It's like, what the fuck? Probably had that contact high too when I was 7. I was 7 when I saw Ozzy. Yeah. So many people are gonna frown on that. Whatever. I'm just being real, man, you know? Oh, I saw Disturbed. Oh my god. And Megadeth. I grew up on Megadeth too. And Disturbed was one of my favorite bands that came out of the year 2000 along with Linkin Park. Powerman 5000 was sick as hell. What the hell happened to them? They were so fucking awesome. But anyways, yeah, Disturbed, Megadeth, Trivium was there. I'm not a big fan of them. I respect them, but I'm not a big fan of them. There was a band that was kind of like Killswitch Engage, but the singer was a chick. and she had really bright red hair. Straight Line Stitch. They were fucking cool. I never heard of them in my life until I went there. Oh, Godsmack was there. Yeah, Godsmack was there. They had like a 5-minute drum solo. It was cool. It was outside. It was so fucking hot, and all they were giving us to drink was like this shitty ass Rockstar energy drink. It's like, dude, it's fucking like 100 degrees. We've been out here all damn day, and you give me a fucking energy drink? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? There's people fucking everywhere, drunk as shit, high as shit, some fucking titties, you know. Don't worry, I'm not trying to make it sound like it was as good as Woodstock. I never been to Woodstock, but I've seen videos and pictures, and it looked pretty fucking cool, man. Oh my god, it would have been so awesome to see Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin. And later on, Alanis Morissette, like, that shit was so cool. And, I keep losing track of what the fuck I'm talking about. It's alright. It's raw. Who cares? Excuse me a moment. Okay. Yeah, it was just fucking awesome, man. You know, seeing Disturbed and all them. Like, when Disturbed was on, I wasn't even, like, drinking. Okay? I was broke. When I went there, I came back with nothing. But it was awesome. A little bit of a sunburn. Didn't really burn much, but whatever. And it was just, like, I felt like I was, like... Maybe, maybe there was a contact high there. I don't know. But I felt like I was, like, really, really, really buzzed. Like, and I was just, like... on cloud 9 seeing these dudes, man. It was just so fucking awesome. Like, they played so many songs, like Haunted and Deceiver, and I was just like, oh my god, Liberate, Thousand Fists. Oh, they played so many fucking songs. I did see a band live that I grew up on. Like, that shit was sick. Megadeth. Oh. No offense to Megadeth, I would have rather have been Metallica or something. If you were gonna pick one from the big four, I would pick Metallica. But, oh my god. Oh, that's right, Suicide Silence was there. Mitch Lucker. Oh god, I'm so glad I got to see him. It's a shame, man. It always sucks, you know, it sucks when anybody dies. I just want to be clear on that. It doesn't make it any different if it's someone, you know, a life is a life, you know what I mean? Not to get all, like, corny and fucking, you know, sappy. No, but I just want to make that clear. Like, a life is a life, you know? It always sucks when we lose one. But when you're into music a lot, and you really like a band, you become a fan, you know, a fanatic, you kind of, there's almost like a connection. Like, you care about these people because they were, you know, they're writing something that you really like and you feel like you can relate to or whatever. And when somebody in a band dies, or a musician dies, you know, like when Michael Jackson died, you know, like when Tupac died, Eazy-E, Kurt Cobain, Chester Bennington, my favorite vocalist of all time, my biggest inspiration, and, you know, the list goes on, and it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, and then there's all these wonders, and, you know, what happened, and blah, 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 and of course, you know, because they are fans, and it looks selfish, and it sounds selfish, but it's, you know, maybe it is a little selfish, but then I wonder, well, what's the band gonna do now, and blah, 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 you know, that's kind of how I was when, like, Chester Bennington died. I was like, oh my god. But that was, like, my last thought, really, as far as the band, the topic of the band, Linkin Park. It was just, like, my last thought was, what are they gonna do next? My first thought is that, I've gotta be honest, I was devastated. Since they came out, since Linkin Park came out in 2000, I was an instant fan. Instant. Like, Hybrid Theory was the shit. Anybody from my childhood would fucking tell you that. I love that fucking album. That, oh my god, my mother said I listened to that shit religiously. And I did. I won't deny it, man. It was just the perfect fusion of music to me. The perfect formula. It was so fucking awesome. They had like the hard rock, some metal elements, some grunge, some fucking hip hop. Oh my god, it was amazing. Because my two favorite genres of all time have always been heavy metal and hip hop. And I've always liked R&B a lot too, but you know, like I said earlier. But anyways, they were just fucking phenomenal. Oh my god. Oh my god. And like I said, you know, and I don't think it's weird either that people act like that, because, you know, if you look at it this way, if you're gonna get upset when a celebrity dies, like a movie star or something dies, well then why is it not okay for someone who likes music, you know, when a musician dies, they're upset? Like, what is wrong with that? What the fuck is the difference? I don't see a difference. I see nobody has any right to tell you what should really bother you. I mean, unless whatever unless would be, I don't even know off the top of my head right now, and I don't even care. Mental illness. Something that gets ignored daily. And if you look, I might be on a tangent right now, and that's okay. But if you look, some of the quote-unquote legendary, and I say quote-unquote because it's a matter of opinion, actually, but a lot of people will agree that, a lot of legendary people, you know, it's just, I don't know, man, it's just fucked up. I don't see anything wrong with being upset about it. I just don't. When people drag it out and go on and on and on, then yeah, I mean, I might be a hypocrite with that, because I do like to talk theories about Kurt Cobain's passing. Call it me, I'm a quote-unquote conspiracy theorist, but hey, you know, there's a lot of things there that were overlooked. I'm gonna leave that at this point, or for now. I would love to talk about that another time. It's just really interesting to me, because there's no justice, but again, I'll leave that at that. Leave that at that. And, you know, I really wish I could have saw Linkin Park live. Because honestly, again, not to get sappy, but there was so much I wanted to, if I ever met the band, there was so much I wanted to say, not just to Chester. I mean, I felt a bigger connection with him, especially when I got older, because when I learned more about his past, I was like, wow. And then you really start to pay attention and understand what he has meant this whole time in a lot of his lyrics, and where exactly a lot of that angst and brutality and control came from with his vocals, whether it be singing or screaming. And people were like, oh, you know, they're selfish when they commit suicide. Listen, nobody has any right to say anything about suicide. That's one of the, those are one of the things I feel should be kind of taboo to kind of preach about in a certain way, because it's like, unless you've been there, you really don't know. Like, unless you've been to the verge of that, you really don't know. But you know, man, I gotta look at it like this. There's still a lot of other bands out there that I haven't seen yet. They're still playing. And, You know, it just sucks that a lot of the music I grew up on, they're disappearing. Like I want to see Queen with Freddie. You know, I want to see Nirvana with Kurt. You know, I want to see, but bouncing back. Let's be a little weird right now. Let's go hot and cold. Let's try to keep it positive, optimistic, or whatever. But you know what? The Foo Fighters, man, they're still killing it, dude. Dave Grohl, he's doing fucking great. You know, Mike Shinoda did a lot of, like, he's been doing a lot of touring lately on his own, and I would love to see that. I would love to talk to him if I could. I think something like that would totally, hands down, I don't care what anybody says, it would be totally worth the cash to have a meet and greet with that man, because he is so talented, he's so inspirational, he fucking does everything. Like, if I were a musician, I would feel like I would be like that. Like, I would write a combination between, like, I would write rock music and then I would do hip-hop, like I've done in reality. Even on my YouTube channel, you can see that, they're not great, they're not studio or nothing, they're just raw footage of me rapping, and I'm under the handle or name Ronin, which is a lone samurai. And then, with the rock stuff, I forgot what that was under. I think it was just like my tracks or something like that, and that was like more. That was actually a lot, like heavily, yeah, it was heavily influenced by Under Oath's older stuff from the mid '90s. The Active Depression. The album that's off of. I think that's called Active Depression. That's perfect. Yeah, it is. Like, that album was just fucking awesome, and it was hitting me at a certain time, so I wrote all of that, and sang or screamed all of that in like 2 nights. You know, just alone, I was going through a lot of shit, I don't want to get into it, but at least something good came out of it. Yeah, I guess. I mean, no one's really heard it, but at least it's there. At least I tried. At least I did some, you know. And, you know, every now and then, I'll come out of the woodwork and try to put something out there. And, you know, do something with it. You know, even if it's just like a little bit here, a little bit there. Just sometimes in life, certain scenarios or whatever, you just can't. You just can't, because in order to be a successful musician, you need to really dedicate so much of your time to it, unless you're just naturally gifted. And you know, with the way my life is right now, I'm not going to have time for that. And I haven't had any instruments in years because they were all stolen from me. Like I mentioned earlier, I lived in a place where heroin and stuff like that was a big fucking thing. We grew up in poverty. You know, it was a slum. And, you know, and I'm not saying to be offensive, but it is what it is. And, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, people fucking do that shit. They get desperate. And, you know, I'm not saying it's okay, but I can't be mad about it. You know? It sucks. I had an Ibanez. That was a gift from one of my ex-girlfriends. And then the other one was from my stepdad. He got it somewhere. I think he was doing work on a house. He was doing work at his uncle's, and his uncle was just like, oh, here. And the fucking strings are rusty as shit. But hey, fuck it, I played it anyway. In my bass, you know, all 3 of those were just fucking jacked. Overnight. So I haven't had an instrument since then. I've been putting money toward other things, you know what I mean? Like, life happens. It's just the way it is. But I've been trying to, you know, make the best of it as far as music goes in the meantime. I still try to have my singing time and stuff like that. But, I gotta close this off soon, man. It's that time. If you're still here, thanks. But this is what I had in mind, so I'm trying it out, you know. I wanted to do something, I don't know, the idea came to me, like, thinking about radio. Except I can't play fucking music, otherwise I'll get bitched at on YouTube. But this is the closest I could really get with what I have right now. And I don't want to invest in anything. I can't afford to invest in anything crazy right now. Because if I did what I really wanted to do, it'd cost more. You know what I mean? Like, money's always a fucking problem. Unless you're some rich person somewhere. But, yeah. Fucking... I don't know. But, like... I don't know, other favorite bands, I guess, I can end with... You know, other than Linkin Park, would... You know, Killswitch Engage, Disturbed... I know I mentioned them before. Nirvana, I fucking love Nirvana. Metallica. I like a lot of the, going back to the whole grunge thing, I like a lot of stuff from like the 90s. I like Stone Temple Pilots a lot, Pearl Jam. Did I say Alice in Chains? That should be apparent anyway, if you've been following me. It's all kinds of shit, man. Like I said, I'm eclectic. I'm into all kinds of music. You know, of course, there's preferences, and I don't know, man, like, tell me something. You know what I mean? Like, tell me something. Like, you know, some sort of response if you want. I don't care. You know, what kind of music do you like? You know, tell me a little bit about your music background. You know, what you grew up listening to, or what you're into now, or whatever, man. You know, I spent an hour talking about my fucking self and music. But that, you know, again, introduction, this is how it's gonna go. It's not always gonna be about me. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Me watching, wow. Hearing me babble and stutter and swear and all this other shit. And, maybe there'll be another music vlog like this. And I could be talking about genres, I could be talking about bands, I could be talking about a particular musician, or whatever the fuck I feel like talking about that pertains to music. How about that, dude? Because it's freedom, man. Freedom Radio. High power. Peace.